Last night, Luis and I watched Lady and the Tramp, a movie that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and he hadn't either. I randomly decided that I wanted to watch it, and it made me think about something that I kind of think would be a good thing for Disney to do again, that Lady and the Tramp did, and did really well. In Lady and the Tramp, there's maybe one famous person, Peggy Lee, as one of the voices. All the other people, all the other characters are voice actors. There's an actor called Bill Thompson. He is the voice of the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, and he's also the Dodo. In Lady and the Tramp, he is Joe, the Italian restaurant guy, who has more lines than the guy who sings Bellinotte. He's the police officer, he's the slurpy bulldog guy, and I just wish that Disney would do that more, because it's really fun when you're like, who's that character's voice? And then you look them up and you realize that they're the voice of all these people. But his name's Bill Thompson. Someone else who is very popular and everybody loves him in Disney is Sterling Holloway. He acted in live action roles as well, but he's most loved and best remembered as Winnie the Pooh, the Cheshire Cat, Kaa from the Jungle Book, Roquefort in Aristocats. What would Disney be without Sterling Holloway? And then there's also somebody like Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings has been in almost everything that Disney has produced since the 80s. He's in Aladdin, he's in Darkwing Duck, obviously, he's in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he's in The Lion King as Ed. That's probably his, like, biggest character. Darkwing Duck is big, but that's a TV show. He had to take over for Jeremy Irons halfway through Scar's song because Jeremy Irons messed up his throat when he said, you won't get a sniff without me. His voice kind of goes up, and it sounds kind of painful when you're listening to it, and then he wasn't able to continue singing, which is kind of sad, but Jim Cummings was there and he was able to save the day. A lot of the more recent Disney movies rely primarily on famous people, as most of the voices. But I liked the old days when it was about 98% of not famous people as the voices, or if they were famous, they were like famous voice actors like Sterling Holloway. But nowadays you get like most of the main characters are famous. I wouldn't mind if it was that the sidekick characters were famous. Robin Williams as the genie in Aladdin is fine because, you know, he's a side character, he's funny, he's like the sidekick, and Iago's okay because he's the funny villain sidekick. Even the villains being famous people, like James Woods in Hercules, is not a big deal to me. But one thing I will say about Hercules is most of the main roles in that are not famous people either. Megara is well known from her Broadway work, and Hercules, I don't even know his name. There's a documentary about voice actors that I really want to watch. I think it's called I Know That Voice, something like that, but I really want to watch it hopefully sometime soon because I actually really love voice actors and I feel like there needs to be more jobs for them, and it shouldn't always be already famous people filling in all the voice roles. And it is kind of nice to have, like, some star power, I guess. But like I said, minimal. I would like to see more work for voice actors. The voice of the Tramp is not played by anybody who's famous for anything other than being the voice of the Tramp. Which is kind of sad. I wish he'd been able to do something else. But at the same time, I really appreciate that they didn't get, you know, Fred Astaire to be the Tramp. Was he alive? Yeah, he was alive. But they got some guy that he was an actor, and they were like, hey, we like your voice, so he got the part.